So today we're going to look at the Igbo political administration, and this is where we get the major difference. We've looked at the Hausa, we've seen how centralized the Hausa state was. We looked at the Yoruba, we see how constitutional the monarch was. And now we're looking at the Igbo state. We're going to see briefly, discuss their political system, highlight the features, and then discuss key administrative structures of their system. So now, as a result of the existence of many political institutions in the Igbo land, there was no centralization, right? There was no, they say there's this popular Igbo saying, Igbo enweze, Igbos don't have a king. I think the Nri people, I think they do, right? The Onitsha, I'm not sure of my historical dates here, but I think Onitsha used to have a serious monarchy stuff too. But the majority of the Igbo territories never had kings, but they had political institutions that ensured governance. Now, some of these institutions include the family heads, council of elders, title holders like those title holders, the age grades, and the diviners, and the rest. We'll see them in detail. So, we usually characterize the Igbo system as being acephalous. So, you would see this in past question a lot. Cephalous means that there is the centralized head. Acephalous means that there is no center. It is devoid. The A to the cephalous is it negativizes it, that prefix A. So it means the absence of a centralized political head. So the Igbos, there were no centralized political power in the Igbo land. Women played a role in the political system as well. They were strong and powerful. Like the Umuada, you don't play with them. You don't, even till today. So the society was basically decentralized. The system had a democratic style since it encouraged equality and social justice, right? It had a republican nature, a republican. Constitutions, homemade, leaders elected by the people, that kind of thing. And there were no hereditary form of rulership. So no father giving son the mandate to govern. All the king stuff we're seeing right now in Igbo land of recent. It wasn't way back in the past. So in the Igbo, we have the village administration. This system was based on villages as a political unit. So we never had a centralized king, but each village had its own administration system. Now, one of the major political institutions that controls the affairs of the village was the Council of the Elders, right? The elders, because of their wealth of experience. So they are comprised of the heads of families, right? Take note of that. They are comprised of the heads of families. So it's comprised of the heads of the family who is an offer title holder, right? So let me see. Village Council of Elders, which comprised of the heads of the family. So each family, the head of each family can be the first son there, right? And that first chap is an offer title holder. Now, the Council of Elders is being headed by the most senior. Now, when all these elders come together, the eldest amongst them is known as the Okpara. Okpara is like a firstborn son. And he presides over this council. He presides over the meeting. This is I'm saying still happens till date in Igbo land, right? Now, the village assembly, this is a meeting of all adult males in the village. It's held in the village markets, in the village square, right? Or in the compound of the Okpara, right? So that's the village assembly. They come together to deliberate issues that affect them. So you see, it's democratic, like direct democracy. Now, the age grade consists of young men that belong to the same age group, and they perform some functions in the village, like the defense of the village, checking of abuse of power, ceremonial functions, and some public duties, like they can do road constructions and the likes. The age grade. Title holders. In Igbo land, traditional political organization also consists of title holders. Now, for you to hold this title, right, you have to be wealthy, like you acquire wealth in an honest way. So you are highly respected. So these people are involved in settling of land disputes and other quarrels. So take note of that. Then the diviners, they play some religious role in the organization as well. Like they consult the gods on behalf of the people. Like you have the famous, the Arochukwu and Okija shrine. They still stand out till today. till today, they are still there. Now, the Women Association, they are very, very strong and influential pressure group in the Igbo society. And they help educate the young girls in the issues, in the women affairs as well, like family and the roles they play, right? Take note of this point we are trying to mention, right? So these are basically what we have. Now, so look at the graphic presentation of the Igbo system. So the village assembly, the council of elders, the age grade, the title holders, right? Before you have the women association as well. So look at these things we've discussed right now. Now, imagine if the British government came down to the Igbo land. Do you think it's going to be easy for them to use what is on ground to govern the Igbo people? Right? So this will tell you the difficulty index. When we get to the subsequent topics, we'll discuss these things in detail. It will show us to what extent the British government were successful in governing the respective environments they came across when they visited Nigeria, as it were. So if you have any question, feel free to put it in the comment section. Don't forget, we looked at the following issues here today. We looked at them today: the Igbo political system features, and then the key administrative structure that made the Igbo political system tick. We're going to look at that in the subsequent video. We're going to go further to discuss this system. Remember, what we just did now in the Igbo outside Yoruba was to look at what was on ground before the arrival of the British political system. Now, when they now came, how successful were they? Taking into the consideration that they used the political structures on ground to govern the people. How successful were they? We will see them soonest.